everyone will be able to take video and pictures and document this special occasion. Let the processional begin. Please welcome the College of Science Mace Bearer and retiring Professor of Biological Sciences, Dr. Don Hoyt. Please welcome the College of Science banner carrier, Julian A. McPhee awardee and class valedictorian, Mr. Kyle Colangelo. Please welcome the faculty and degree candidates of the Biological Sciences Department, led by their chair, Dr. Craig LeMunyon, and their banner carrier, Veronica Chavez. welcome the faculty and degree candidates of the Chemistry and Biochemistry Department, led by their chair, Dr. Lisa Alex, and their banner carrier, Daniel Vallejo. Please welcome the faculty and degree candidates of the Computer Science Department, led by their chair, Dr. Daisy Sang, and their banner carrier, Alexander Horstman. Please welcome the faculty and degree candidates of the Geological Sciences Department, led by their chair, Dr. Jonathan Norris, and their banner carrier, Tara Vanderway. Please welcome the faculty and degree candidates of the Kinesiology and Health Promotion Department, led by their chair, Dr. Perky Vetter, and their banner carrier, Debbie Pan. Please welcome the faculty and degree candidates of the Department of Mathematics and Statistics, led by their chair, Dr. Alan Krenick, and their banner carriers, Diana Gonzalez and Chalmer Tomlinson. Welcome the faculty and degree candidates of the Physics and Astronomy Department, led by their chair, Dr. Steve McCauley, and their banner carrier, Anna Ramones.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Brian Jersky, and I have the honor of serving as Dean of the College of Science. To begin our ceremony, please stand for the singing of the national anthem. I would like to invite Laura Pluth to come forward to sing our national anthem. It is customary for men to remove their hats during the national anthem if you can do so easily.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets would glare, the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Thank you, Laura, for that beautiful rendition. Please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 2016 College of Science commencement. We gather here today to celebrate the graduation of 973 students. On behalf of the faculty, staff, and students of the college, I want to congratulate our graduates and welcome their families and friends to join us today. We thank you for being with us on this important occasion. We want to acknowledge the faculty who helped you master the knowledge and the skills you will need to perform as a professional in your discipline. We also want to acknowledge the staff who made sure everything was in place for your learning. Would the faculty and staff of the College of Science please stand and be recognized. We are also joined by a number of distinguished officers of the university, faculty, and students here on the platform. I ask that they stand as I read their names, but please hold your applause until they have all been introduced. Mr. John W. McGuthrie, Vice President for Information Technology and CIO. Ms. Kathleen Street, Acting Vice President for the Division of Student Affairs. Dr. Robert Curbs, Interim Associate Dean, College of Science. Dr. Tina Hartney, Associate Dean, College of Science. Dr. Don Hoyt, Mace Bearer. Dr. Craig Lamanyan, Chair of Biological Sciences. Dr. Lisa Alex, Chair of Chemistry and Biochemistry. Dr. Daisy F. Sang, Chair of Computer Science. Dr. Jonathan Nurse, Chair of Geological Sciences. Dr. Perky Vetter, Chair of Kinesiology and Health Promotion. Dr. Alan Krinick, Chair of Mathematics and Statistics. Dr. Steve McCauley, Chair of Physics and Astronomy. Dr. Steve Alas, Director of the SEAS program. Also, Mr. Kyle Colangelo, Julian A. McPhee Awardee and valedictorian with a double major in mathematics and economics with a minor in statistics. And Mr. Daniel Vallejo, class gift presenter and Science Council President, majoring in biology. Dr. Sylvia A. Alva, Provost and Vice President for Academic Affairs, and Dr. Soraya Coley, President of California State Polytechnic University, Pomona. And we are also honored to have a special guest in the audience, Dr. J. Michael Ortiz, President Emeritus of Cal Poly Pomona. Thank you all very much. I would like now to call on President Coley for her welcoming remarks. Dr.
Thank you, Dean Jersky. And I also want to share in the acknowledgement of President Emeritus Michael Ortiz and his wife, Betty Ortiz. We're always so pleased to have them come and be with us here at Cal Poly Pomona. I'm going to ask Dean Jersky to come and stand beside me. You know, this misty weather was certainly unexpected. And when I stopped to think for a moment about the departure of Dean Jersky, I think the elements were trying to weigh in on the sadness of his leaving Cal Poly Pomona. But it is cleared, and so we're so pleased that we're going to go forward with the ceremony. But I wanted to take a moment to acknowledge and bestow a special recognition upon someone who's given years of dedicated and excellent service to Cal Poly Pomona, and that is Dean Brian Jersky. He joined Cal Poly Pomona in 2012 and has been steadfast in his commitment to student success and collaboration across departments and colleges. He has been a dynamic leader and a champion for innovation. He will be assuming the position in July as provost at Cal State Long Beach. Brian, before you leave, we want to thank you for your service to our university, and to let you know that you will always be part of our Bronco family. Please join me in congratulating Dean Jersky and extending our best wishes to him on his new position. Hello, class of 2016. On behalf of our outstanding faculty and staff, I am honored to stand before you to applaud your accomplishments and relay our pride in you. Getting to this milestone was not easy, but you persisted, and you're here today. I am sure you would acknowledge that you did not reach this milestone on your own. Graduates, please take a moment to acknowledge those individuals who supported you on this journey and are with us today. Please give them a round of applause. There are other supporters whose names you may not know, such as our alumni who have invested in future students through scholarships and gifts. We hope that you too will one day decide to pay it forward. And as you move in the next phase of your life's journey, let me share several essential lessons that I've learned. The first is to hold high expectations for yourself. As humans, we respond to expectations, And if you have low expectations, you will behave in ways that don't matter. So set the bar high and exercise the discipline needed to achieve success. The second is take action. Don't let a fear of failure inhibit you. Unless actions are taken in the direction of your expectations, you will not be successful. The third is persistence. Success isn't always easy or even guaranteed. Know that with every failure holds a lesson. Learn from it and move forward. The fourth is maintaining options. Achieving a degree opens up possibilities. Look for opportunities to further your growth and adapt to the changes that will occur during your lifetime. And finally, discover your purpose. Why are you here? Your talents and gifts are still developing. Be open to new experiences and pursue areas that align with your curiosity and your passion. Some of you may already know or have a clear path toward that understanding. For others, it may take longer. But recognize that you are always in the act of creating and choosing. Seek to discover and let unfold the greatness that lies within you. Be bold in your pursuit and strive to be your best and authentic self. In closing, I'd like to extract passages from a piece written by Dennis Kimbrough. May you develop a burning desire that is required of all achievement. May you stand up for the rights of others against the undesirable influence and threats of enemies. May you save your money so that you could pay your way in this world and yet be generous to those in need. May you forgive and forget those that may have harmed you. May you accept full responsibilities for the successes as well as the failures in your life. May you know that the greatest challenge is understanding. The greatest mistake is conformity. The greatest strength is faith. The greatest weakness is pride. The greatest day is today. The greatest word is thanks. The greatest among us is whoever serves. The greatest message is hope. And the greatest of these is love and empathy. Congratulations, class of 2016. We're so proud of you.
Thank you, President Coley, for that inspiring message. I would now like to introduce our senior class representative and president of the Science Council from the College of Science, Daniel Vallejo, who will present the senior class gift.
Thank you. President Coley, Dean Jersky, distinguished guests, and fellow members of class of 2016. Every year, the graduating class leaves behind something for the campus community, a gift for future generations of Broncos. We want to leave the university better than it was when we were here. This tradition succeeds every year because of another tradition of Cal Poly Pomona, and that is philanthropy. The senior class gift is entirely funded by the donations of graduating seniors. Look around. For those of us wearing the senior class pin, we believe in Cal Poly Pomona, and we want to invest in the future of our university. This year, the senior class is adding new printing stations to the campus to keep students better connected. Fellow donors, thank you for your generous spirit. President Coley, I am honored to present this gift from the class of 2016.
Thank you, Daniel, and thank you, class of 2016. On behalf of the future generations of students, I am sure that they're going to get much use out of this gift, and we appreciate your consideration of those who are coming behind you. Thank you so much.
Now we celebrate the academic achievements of our students. We begin by recognizing the Julian A. McPhee Award recipient and valedictorian. The Julian A. McPhee Award is given to an individual who exhibits student excellence. Julian McPhee was the founding president of both Cal Poly Pomona and Cal Poly San Luis Obispo. He gave more than 36 years of dedicated service to the citizens of California. Because of his visionary leadership, Californians can point with pride to two of the nation's finest universities, founded on the educational principle of learn by doing. This special award was funded by an anonymous donor who was a colleague of Julian McPhee, and it honors a graduating senior who exhibits excellence in his or her academic endeavors. To be recognized as the valedictorian, a student must have earned the highest academic grade point average in the college. It is my pleasure to present to you the 2016 College of Science Julian A. McPhee Award winner and valedictorian, Kyle Colangelo. Please stand and be recognized. Kyle graduates today with a double major in mathematics and economics and a minor in statistics with a grade point average of 3.97. What an amazing achievement. The College of Science works hard to maintain high academic standards and expects students to work hard to earn high grades. We know that your accomplishment is a genuine reflection of your talent, your dedication and effort, and your potential for a bright career and future. Please join me in and congratulations.
Brian, Kyle, they want to take a picture.
Okay. Okay, that's yours. Good. Okay.
Thank you, Dean Jersky, for that introduction. Let me start by saying it's an honor to be here. I'd first like to thank my friends, family, and professors for the support they've given me these past few years. I certainly wouldn't be standing here today if it weren't for them. To the graduating class of 2016, you can cheer, you can applaud that. I'd like to start by saying whether it took you 4 years or 6 or maybe 20, it doesn't matter because you didn't quit. No matter how many obstacles you had to overcome to be standing here today, you made it. Today we take the next big step on whatever path we choose. But no matter where you go or what you do, you're going to encounter failure. I'm sure most of us are going to fail when we first start out. But every time you fail, get up and keep going. For example, if I give a bad speech today, I'll give a better one tomorrow. When you fail, acknowledge its lessons. Know that you can never be a failure. Failure is just an event that every successful person has gone through. Remember that the cards we're dealt in life matter very little. It's how we play them that counts. Thank you, and congratulations, class of 2016.
Thank you, Kyle. I would now like to call upon Provost and Vice President for Academic Affairs, Dr. Sylvia A. Alva, to present the winner of the Provost's Award for Excellence in Scholarly and Creative Activities.
Thank you, Dean Jersky. With the generous support of President Coley, the university continues to recognize the accomplishments of faculty with the Provost Awards for Excellence. These awards are given in the areas of teaching, service, and scholarly and creative activities, and they acknowledge the central role that faculty make at Cal Poly Pomona and make it a phenomenal place that it is. Awardees are chosen in a rigorous process and must meet the highest standards of excellence in their field of study. It is my pleasure to introduce the 2016 Provost Award for Excellence in Scholarly and Creative Activities. It goes to Dr. Craig Lamonian, Chair and Professor of Biological Sciences in the College of Science. Dr. Lamonian has published nearly 36 abstracts, over 30 peer-reviewed articles, some of which have received news coverage in Science Magazine, Nature, and the New York Times. Over the years, he has secured over $2.7 million in external funding from the likes of the National Institute of Health and the U.S. Department of Agriculture. It is said by former students of Dr. Lamonian that he is the type of researcher that drives industry to develop new technology. Without driven researchers, there would not be a market for advanced technology, which would halt future discoveries. Students have also said of his accomplishments, what can't be seen is the sacrifice, the sheer amount of time and effort he puts into working with students and helping them succeed. One student said, Dr. Lamonian empowers and mentors students. He has a non-intrusive style of research mentorship, which greatly develops students' ability to think creatively and to solve problems. It is an honor and a privilege to introduce to you the 2016 Provost Award winner for Excellence in Scholarly and Creative Activities, Professor Craig Lamonian. Congratulations.
Oh boy.
Isn't that beautiful?
Wow, that is.
Thank you.
Well, thank you so much, Provost Alva. It's very much appreciated that these awards are given to faculty across the university. And congratulations, graduates of the College of Science. So I don't have to tell you what a great place Cal Poly is. Here I've had the incredible pleasure to work side by side with some of you, our amazing students. We made some very interesting discoveries together, and we've also shared our agonies when our experiments didn't work And as my students know, experiments don't work more often than they actually work. But this award really celebrates you, our students, and your development into scientists. All of this could not be possible without the support of an expert staff, without brilliant colleagues in my Department of Biological Sciences and across the college, without the administration's recognition and support of faculty research as a way to involve our students in projects and allow them to take that information that they've learned in class and put it into practice. So thank you again, and congratulations.
Congratulations, Craig. Last month, President Coley and Provost Alva honored outstanding academic advisors and departments, including 2 from our college, who work tirelessly to help students succeed and achieve your goals. They are Dr. Yasha Paulette from Geological Sciences, the 2015-16 Outstanding Faculty Advisor in the College of Science, and the Center for Excellence in Mathematics and Science Teaching, CMAST, from the College of Science, the 2015-16 Outstanding Advising Program in the Division of Academic Affairs. Please join me in congratulating Dr. Paulette and the CMAST team for their advising successes. The faculty in the College of Science bestow an annual Distinguished Teaching Award on one of their colleagues. With so many fine teachers among our faculty, selecting one person for this recognition is a real challenge. This year, the award committee chose 7 finalists, faculty who have achieved an exceptional level of effectiveness in their teaching. They are Ms. Stephanie Rothman from Biological Sciences, Dr. Tim Corcoran from Chemistry and Biochemistry, Dr. Mohammed Hussein from Computer Sciences, Dr. Nick Van Buur, Geological Sciences, Dr. Ken Hansen, Kinesiology and Health Promotion, Dr. Robin Wilson, Mathematics and Statistics, and Dr. Kurt van der Voort, Physics and Astronomy. I am delighted to announce that the winner of this year's College of Science Distinguished Teaching Award is Dr. Mohammed Hussein of the Computer Science Department. Dr. Hussein's contributions to student learning in and outside the classroom are remarkable. They include outstanding classroom teaching and innovative and creative ways to teach computer science. Many of his students remember him for the rest of their lives. Dr. Hussein will be presenting his thoughts on teaching and pedagogy at a special seminar in the fall, which we look forward to. Please join me in congratulating Dr. Hussein for this wonderful and well-deserved honor. The College of Science, as you've seen, has a long history of outstanding faculty research, often involving undergraduate and graduate students in conducting, writing, and presenting research results. The Ralph W. Ames Distinguished Research Award honors a faculty member in the college who has a strong record of research and professional development in their field. This year, the award goes to Dr. Jennifer Switkus of the Department of Mathematics and Statistics. We look forward to hearing and learning from Dr. Switkus at a special seminar in the coming year. I know that Jenny would rather share scientific ideas than accept awards, so I'm sure it will be a seminar worth attending. Please join me in congratulating her on her research success and her many achievements. We now come to the central part of our ceremony, the awarding of degrees. I call upon Provost and Vice President for Academic Affairs, Dr. Sylvia A. Alva, to present the candidates for the master's degrees. Provost Alva.
Thank you, Dean Jersky. Will the candidates for the Masters of Science in Applied Biotechnology, Masters of Science in Biological Sciences, Master of Science in Chemistry, Master of Science in Computer Science, Master of Science in Geology, Master of Science in Kinesiology, and the Master of Science in Mathematics, please rise. President Coley, I present to you the candidates for the Master of Science. These candidates have completed the requirements for the master's degree as prescribed by the state of California and the trustees of the California State University, and they have recommended by the faculty of California State Polytechnic University, Pomona.
Candidates for the master's degree, you've heard the recommendation of the faculty of California State Polytechnic University, Pomona. By the authority vested in me as president, I confer upon you the degree of Masters of Science in Applied Biotechnology, Master of Science in Biological Sciences, Masters of Science in Chemistry, Masters of Science in Computer Science, Masters of Science in Geology, Masters of Science in Kinesiology, and the Masters of Science in Mathematics with all the rights, honors, and responsibilities appertaining thereto. Congratulations.
Ushers, please take your positions to help marshal the faculty and candidates to the stage. Each candidate should approach the stage as directed by the ushers with your hood folded over your left arm. You will stop at the reader table and hand them your card before proceeding to the platform to receive your diploma cover and to be hooded. You will then return to your seat down the center ramp. For the families, I want you to know that professional photographers are here to capture this moment for you. The master's degree candidates may be seated if you wish, but be ready to come up to the stage.
We present the candidates for the degree Master of Science in Chemistry.
We now present the candidates for the Master of Science in Applied Biotechnology and the Master of Science in Biological Sciences.
Susie Lee. Yunshi Tan.
Craig Hoover.
Karen Choi.
Yue Lin.
Yue Zhao.
Linda Jillian Tai.
Kristen Terminal.
Guihao Jing.
Elizabeth N. Martinez.
Elizabeth Marie Hill.
Si-Hao Kang.
Thomas A. Marino, President Council Scholar.
Julian Chavez.
Lindsay Laurelyn Williamson.
Bruce Shea.
Emmanuel Dominic Zamora. Jimmy P. Hyun.
This completes the awarding of the degree Master of Science in Chemistry. We will concurrently present the candidates for the degree Master of Science in Computer Science.
Samantha Nicole Kapati. Robin Jamie Kwan.
Joseph Dibale Afewerk.
Antoine Tranha.
Roshan Girish Rathod.
Melissa Chandra.
Michael David Ortiz.
Wainiska A. Gaines.
Arun Singh.
Lena Planatute.
Shatija Shinde.
Michael A. Andreas.
Anna Kupanoff.
Hyunbin Song. Frederick Wang.
Kitana Chilakuli.
Avinash Seth.
Steve P. Jankley.
Chaitra Saram.
Peter Pongyu Chen.
Mathaman Ramaligan.
This completes the awarding of the degree Master of Science in Computer Science. We will concurrently present the candidates for the degree Master of Science in Geology.
Arpit Anil Jain.
Debbie Annette Kunath.
Tiffany Ornelas.
Melissa V. Robinson.
Shiva Shankar Vel Najali.
Raymond Ing.
Rohan Sandeep Monkar.
Maximilian Vlodarchik.
Smita Prakash Shohule.
This completes the awarding of the degree Master of Science in Geology. We will concurrently present the candidates for the degree Master of Science in Mathematics.
Warta Nakul Patel.
Robert Chen.
Tammy Truong.
Nikhil Ladva.
Mace Sophian Otum.
David Tuan Nguyen.
And this completes the awarding the degree Master of Science in Applied Biotechnology and the Master of Science in Biological Sciences. We now concurrently present the candidates for the degree Master of Science in Kinesiology.
Benjamin Chris Roth.
Stephanie Marie Sandino.
Sean Michael Townsend.
Michelle K. Fisher.
Megan Ford.
And this completes the awarding the degree Master of Science in Kinesiology.
Jeremy Lloyd Lamera. This completes the awarding of the degree Master of Science in Mathematics.
Will the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Science from the Departments of Biological Sciences, Chemistry and Biochemistry, Computer Science, Geological Sciences, Kinesiology and Health Promotion, Mathematics and Statistics, and Physics and Astronomy, please rise. President Coley, I present to you the candidates for the baccalaureate degree from the College of Science. These candidates have completed the requirements for the baccalaureate degree as prescribed by the State of California and the trustees of the California State University, and they have been recommended for their degrees by the faculty of California State Polytechnic University, Pomona.
Candidates for the baccalaureate degree, you've heard the recommendation of the faculty of California State Polytechnic University, Pomona. By the authority vested in me as president, I confer upon you the degree of Bachelor of Science with all the rights, honors, and responsibilities appertaining thereto. In academic tradition, the student who has not yet earned a degree wears the tassel on the mortarboard on the right side. When the degree is conferred, the scholar moves the tassel to the left and joins a select company. In recognition of your new status, will all the recipients of the baccalaureate degree move your tassels to the left? Congratulations.
Class of 2016, congratulations on receiving this degree you have worked so hard to attain. Please be seated. We will now recognize each of today's graduates individually. Ushers will instruct the faculty and candidates of your department when it is time for you to move to the side aisle and come to the stage.
We now present the candidates for the degree Bachelor of Science in Biology, Biotechnology, Botany, Environmental Biology, Microbiology, and Zoology. Kendall Tracy Garabedian.
Pierre Menard.
Charlene Stephanie Yen.
Christian Matthew Garrido, McNair Scholar.
Azucena Valadez. Anam Udine.
Mark Ellie DeBoton Alonzo, McNair Scholar.
Eddie Cordero.
Veronica Chavez, summa cum laude, Kellogg Honors.
Christina Cecilia Lopez.
Natalie Christine Garcia, cum laude, McNair Scholar.
Austin Lee Kaolani Astores Pacheco.
Lindley M. Stevie.
Samantha N. Esquivel.
John Rivera.
Valen Marie Nicholas.
Renee Estefan, cum laude, Kellogg Honors, McNair Scholar.
Courtney Mears.
Kiara Renee Sanchez.
Alexis Noel Alexander.
Jessica Michelle Ibarra.
Kyla Violet Sarad.
Monica Nicole Pena.
Madeline Claire Tweet.
Stephanie Martinez.
Amanda Michelle Paulmeyer, summa cum laude.
Edith Medeiros.
Noor Jamal Baba.
Jessica de los Santos.
Ian Olazaba.
Denise Olympia Quintanilla.
Carlos A. Lopez.
Marvin Danielle Flores.
Omar Baderet.
Stephanie Ray Texera.
Matthew Christopher Wright.
Jacqueline Marie Gavin.
Nigel Andrew Adashevsky.
Danielle Marie Adams.
Alan Christopher Polarka, summa cum laude.
Roberto Estrella.
Tin Doe.
Elizabeth Marcelo Utatko.
Felix Wynn.
Elizabeth Herrera.
Jarek Tulia Hoya.
Alice Pond.
Robert Liu, cum laude.
Christian Edward Pirjanian.
Marissa Baltazar Serrato.
Antonio Aguayo, summa cum laude.
Christina Estrella.
Arpina Zarukian.
Emily Farias Alcorn, magna cum laude.
David Atterwork.
Alexander Mai Wynn.
Richard Bo Mercado.
Joan Tracy Buhane.
Patrick Jeffrey Lopez, magna cum laude.
Rosie Nima Francis.
Cassie Jean Smith.
Himisha Qatar.
Jessica Leah Munoz.
Starla Suet Madrigal.
Paulo Inigo Fernando.
Jacob Lewis Eagleton, cum laude.
Elise Verona.
Hinsun Hugh.
Daniel Miller.
Deidre Ann Liddell.
Kristen Leah Dunn.
Vanessa May Vergara.
Kaylee Kirsten Bredesen.
Maria Deline Lindo Tan.
Seth Adam Cap.
Lily Corazon Bedoya.
Quentin Kyle Smith.
Cassandra Ann Buse.
Brittany Michelle Crawford.
Daniel Tyler Wagey.
Brandon Tyler Ocon.
Sean Kamal.
Cameron Taylor Williams.
Alexander Kwok Dong Chan.
Dylan Jokoy.
Ricky Leung, cum laude.
Mariam Akram, magna cum laude.
Stephanie Fu.
Gabriel Arambulo de Leon, magna cum laude, Kellogg Honors.
Jason Gongfi Lee.
Regina Marie Giancola, Kellogg Honors.
Nathan Tuan Duck Nguyen.
Hung Din, cum laude.
Janet Subin Lee.
Melissa C. Lee.
Emily Chow, cum laude.
Roger Kai Ju Lee.
Stephen Lopez, magna cum laude.
Justin Ryan Hines.
Andy Suyeng Zhuang, cum laude.
Kent Nguyen. Cassandra Stryzak.
Armin Sulemezian.
Aishamara Kiros.
Dylan Ignatius.
Autumn J. Dennison.
Emma Ray McDonough.
Angela Gabrielle Fuller.
Hartoon Panosa.
Karina Marie Jimenez.
Monica Bell Rios.
Lisa Aurora Munoz.
Adam Jose Rodriguez.
Adrian Romero Jr.
Brittany Amber Dantuno.
Roberto Rosales Jr.
Madison Luis Guzman, magna cum laude.
Yvonne Marie Campos.
Yvonne Nicole Chavarin.
Nicole Ray Marquez.
Charlie George Backett.
Valerie Page Brott.
Alexia Marie Quiros.
Alejandra Rodriguez.
Alan Nguyen.
Philip Lewin.
Pablo A. Garcia Jr.
Charles Zhang.
Cherish Maria Nicole Cartagena.
Kevin Richard Costello, cum laude.
Maria Castaneda.
Devin Sexton.
Kim Ho Wang Tao.
Lam Bui, magna cum laude.
Eduardo Ivan Renteria.
Zach Lee.
Alberto Herrera Ortegon.
Gisele Stephanie Alvarado.
Nathaniel Don Eves.
Mary Torres, cum laude.
Kelsey Lauren Shields.
Rosario Morfin.
Janeth Rivera Fonseca.
Alejandra Soto, summa cum laude.
Zuri Kathleen Navarrete.
Ashley Nicole Cup, magna cum laude, Kellogg Honors.
Sarah Elizabeth Campion.
Chelsea Cloanne Fisher.
Samuel Kazua Ebonier.
Jose Mejia.
Hero Sotar, magna cum laude.
Giancarlo Nunez.
Cindy Cruz.
Alberto Gonzalez.
Brianna Santos.
William Adam McDonald, summa cum laude.
Alicia Baramo.
Vincent Ma.
Kristen Moore, magna cum laude.
Samira Sekon.
Greg Code.
Shirlene Samargi.
Oscar Neymar.
April Tainen.
Ciara Seeley.
Stephanie Truck Wynn.
Paul Sinugaya.
Diana Klabutz, magna cum laude.
Meta Marcelina, summa cum laude.
Elisa Sancio. Marissa Louise Nichols, cum laude.
Hansini Veterange, summa cum laude.
Clarissa Tan.
Mandy Lynn.
Pooja Anita Kumar, summa cum laude, Kellogg Honors.
Bernard De Castro Carpio.
Dina Michelle Moncada, cum laude.
Robbie Denise Robertson.
Kyle Alonso Tagupa.
Cara Newsom.
Matthew Ormigoso Meneses.
Crystal Nicole Carter.
Ivan Chin.
Shalisa Foster.
Chinlawan Katiamsung, cum laude.
Gabriela Alexis Garza Vasquez, cum laude, McNair Scholar.
Timothy Scott Bolgatz.
Kristen Dagian, cum laude.
Katere Ganji.
Alexander Shen Gugarian.
Zara Alchokachi.
Cesar Rafael Sanchez.
Astrid Mariali Alvarez.
Estefiana Flores. Jordan Lai. Wei Zhu. Mariah Meklowitz. Philip Hassan Flores. Nika Alexandra Adamson. And this completes the awarding the degree Bachelor of Science in Biology, Biotechnology, Botany, Environmental Biology, Microbiology, and Zoology. We now present the candidates for the degree Bachelor of Science in Chemistry.
Michael Andrew Luzuriaga.
Jessica Elise Webzaneski, cum laude.
Sergio Oscar Lovera.
Tao Win, magna cum laude.
Anthony Lara.
Sue Puent Ong.
Philip Jacob Smith.
Annie Bustillos.
Brent David Frazier.
Kimberly Herrera.
Arturo Orozco Jr.
James H. Lee.
Pablo Antonio Garcia. Robert Thomas Wedge IV, Kellogg Honors. Eric Emmanuel Pantoja. Alexander Hurst.
Kathleen Maricele Urrutia.
Christopher Ortego.
Melody Marie Sykes, cum laude.
Brandon Matthew Lum.
Abigail Elaine Stanton.
Mohammed Azar Noor.
Lindsay Hetchert, cum laude.
Daniel Derek Vallejo, summa cum laude.
Jessica Lee Fears.
Sydney Vanessa Perez.
Nicole Guadalupe Perkins, cum laude.
Crystal Aquino Cuerpo. Leslie Jessica Aranda.
Noelia Jimena Achacaro.
Eric Alexis Del Cid.
Jabi Sinsu Lu.
Arlen Zane Prosser.
Catherine Lowe.
Chidozi Namdi Olumba.
Yi Pu Chen.
Michael Jonathan Torres.
Mitra Rastagar.
Christopher Deepchai Tin.
Jordan Alexandra Kitt. Kimberly Sepong. Alexa Campos. Siddharth Jagdish Lala. Jenny Dang. T. Nguyen. Hazel Balneg. Robert Wang. Kristen Naomi Hernaka. Alyssa C. Pimentel. And this completes the awarding of the degree Bachelor of Science in Chemistry. We now present the candidates for the degree Bachelor of Science in Computer Science.
Eric Cow, cum laude.
Alex Hortzman, summa cum laude. Aaron Michael Sun.
Aaron Thomas King.
Christopher Demetrius Rabb.
Michelle Chong.
Jonathan Wong.
Raymond Richard Lee.
Jorge Alberto Magana.
Matthew Scott Caparelli.
Mai Nguyen, magna cum laude.
Armandeep Singh Kalon.
Hital Patel.
Ara Samuel Malayan.
Zukveer Singh Sidhu.
Brandon Tran Smith, cum laude.
Kulveer Singh Virk.
Stephen Thomas, magna cum laude.
Anthony Guzman.
Jonathan David Francisco.
Josue Miramontes.
Juan Edward Gonzalez.
Adrian Kuenko.
Anthony Takeshi Watanabe.
Arthur Lee.
Casey Maria Yao.
Daniel Lin.
Alan Lifo Shu Dun.
Sharat Verchurbion.
Virgilio Samulde Ilagan.
Joshua Brooks.
Goodness Daramola.
Zaki Muniz.
Van Stephen Muse II.
Cody Shepard.
Narek Kazarian.
Kevin Ollie.
Eric Ruiz.
Andres Gomez.
Gabriel Nicholas Martinez.
Michael Debe.
Kevin Friedemann.
Sarman Korjasarian.
Simon Park.
Dale Kim. Andrew Kim.
Ethan Sitt.
Daniel Lynch. Fernando Pantoja.
Jacob Warfield.
Nolan Farage.
Corey Andrew Thomason, cum laude.
Shahan Kamejian.
Boris Borley.
Maheen Iqbal.
Emily Lee.
Ryan Constantano.
Matthew Brian Dolan, magna cum laude.
Francisco Javier Pichardo.
Oliver Joseph Quano.
Emilio Anselmo Gardia.
Richard Idigo.
Tommy Hang.
Henry Au.
Bevan Choi. Kevin Fuji.
Garrett Kubota.
John Chung Tu.
Rodney Villarreal.
Keaton Simpson.
Garrick Tapp Lee.
John Hanson.
Scott Lowry.
Kevin Hammond.
Leon Yen.
Jesse Garcia.
Jay Lim.
Robert Hong Song Kwang.
Alan Cardona, cum laude.
Jacob Victor Buhaveski, summa cum laude.
Joseph Saunders.
Vincent Young.
Vincent Cooten, magna cum laude.
Gabriel Francis Montemayor, magna cum laude. David Clark.
Isaac Clifton Siegel.
Jason Wong.
Mitchell Goodman Manqueros.
Jackson Van Dow.
Ethan Hideshi Ito, summa cum laude, Kellogg Honors.
Patrick Santos.
Nathaniel McDormand.
Denzel Rana.
David Ho.
Lauren Amber Gamboa.
William Ho Yang.
Sujuong Ha, cum laude.
Dean Michael Tappett.
Suki Lee.
Daniel James Garcia.
Sean Chang. Zachary Colson.
Jonathan Fabricio Hidalgo.
Samantha Ann Walter. Richard Lamb.
David Van Luong.
Kim Meng Kao.
Kaylin John Zalazek, cum laude.
Hung Tran Lei.
Jonathan Ma, magna cum laude.
Young Hu Song.
Charles Chung.
Michael Kang.
Chan Q Lee, magna cum laude.
Daniel Gabriel Mataforian, cum laude.
Simon Lamb.
Richard Kusart. Wayne Finn Tran. Max Wolotsky. Chris Rael, Mark Lucero. Jonathan Clifton Bassey. Kaylee Jordan Shepard. Jared Alexander Domio.
This completes the awarding of the degree Bachelor of Science in Computer Science. We present the candidates for the degree Bachelor of Science in Geology. Brendan Dillery.
David Buff.
Andrew Levy.
John Chen.
Christopher James Tafoya.
Runbo Wang.
Jesus Antonio Galeana.
Kit Fong.
Michael Ray Dykstra.
Sam Yulji.
Stephen J. Pestana.
Andre Lee.
Andrew Joseph Garcia.
Johnny Quan Bond.
Daniel Edward Lee.
Brian Hua Tan.
Taylor Renee Robles.
Marco Angelo Susan, cum laude.
Gloria Renee Gonzalez. Paula Mariana Soto. Aura Elizabeth De Leon. Kelly Marie Brigham. Stephanie Marie Steinert. Tyler Scotton Vale. Angel Michael De La Rosa. Gustavo Davila. Lara Panosian. Ashley Michelle Espinosa. Tara Vanderway. Stacy Protashik. Elena Rose Robertson. Matthew Harris Rosenblum. This completes the awarding of the degree Bachelor of Science in Geology. We present the candidates for the degree Bachelor of Science in Kinesiology. Bethany Pearl Aisling.
Matthew Allen Holbert.
Tatiana Nazaroff, magna cum laude.
Vincent Brulo.
Jonathan Garcia Sanchez, cum laude.
Matthew Mulrooney, magna cum laude.
Keith Lester Mangona Soriano.
Mitchell Foley.
Jeanette Carla Lopez.
Michael Alexander Johnson.
Andrea Lee Hockenberry.
Bernard Essefol.
Oscar Sesma.
Kristen Goodrolt.
Jose Javier Cruz.
Lawrence Leroy King III.
Caleb Tremblay.
Mitch Hamlin, cum laude.
Eric Giovanni Hurtado.
Austin Benjamin Allen.
Alejandro Reyes Natividad.
Kyle James Goodenough, cum laude.
Levi Mateo.
Jacob Jean Lauby.
Valerie Rivera.
Crystal Deanna Ellis.
Ashley Pilios Buhane.
Philip Dominguez.
Pakarang Sriampai.
Stephen Acevedo.
Alan Bygarten.
Nicholas Frederick Sims.
Scott Halleck, summa cum laude.
Jennifer Naylor.
Aaron Holder.
Caitlin Nicole Mooneyham.
Ricky Lee.
Ethan Morgan, summa cum laude.
Francis Figueres.
Aubrey Elizabeth Shamlin.
Eduardo Padilla.
Jose Albert Flores.
Samantha Caitlin Silva.
Ryan Elliott Black.
Aranza Jonolanos, cum laude.
Jacob Blasey, summa cum laude.
Mark Monroy.
Elisa Renee Allen, magna cum laude.
Samantha Elazi.
Brittany Renee Johnson.
Jacqueline Alexis King.
Gonzalo Chacon.
Lauren Nicole Finke, summa cum laude.
Lucille Lopez.
Kenny Cheng.
Adam Durakshan.
Catherine Sarasolo.
Jane Antoinette Isidro, cum laude.
Rachel Powers.
Sarah Marie Weigel, magna cum laude.
Jess Joseph Torres II.
Corrine Varia Yetarian.
Benson Kim.
Abneet Gill.
Rogelio Serrano.
Carolyn Elizabeth Rodriguez.
Jack Carlton Beckley.
Devonay Marie Cruz.
Marshall Stephen Sanders Jr.
Cristobal Cruz.
Daniela Marquez, Kellogg Honors. Jolie No.
Shadu Numkemdalan Onwenche.
Manika Feris Eldo Beltran.
Gabby Pan, summa cum laude.
Christopher Arias, cum laude.
Missy Chie Rogers.
Rebecca Correa, cum laude.
Michelle Urbina.
Allison Amber Garcia.
Juan Lopez Jr.
Jeff Seetongun.
Christopher James Valle.
Elbert Chen, magna cum laude.
Angus Brian Choi.
Jasmine Hidalgo.
Natalia Julia Hernandez.
Marielle Fernandez.
Desiree Nicole Brazo.
Allison Ye.
Elaine Rhodes Kurtz, summa cum laude.
Yin-Mi Stephanie O.
John Nguyen.
Amy Chen.
Chavette Marie Williams.
Albert Liu.
Brandy Strotter.
Armando Valdivia.
Mark Vincent Diaz.
Jaime Garcia Flores.
Jordan T. Chan.
Brandon Lee Lim.
Alex Kiyok Sung.
Cliff Maksushimat, cum laude.
Julian Simon.
Deja Kinney. Inken Akunam Agu.
William Richard Kairoch.
Megan Ashley Ducazo.
Christian Wan.
Christian Victor Eisen.
Devin James Johnson.
Prince Malari.
Zachary Ryan Dubois.
Teoderico Beraberi, magna cum laude.
Jonathan Giovanni Martinez.
James Eric Weiner.
Vincent Ong.
Mian Angela Dingle, cum laude.
Wolfano Pineda.
Alexandra Lauren Hazen, magna cum laude.
Dominic Hunter Cuevas.
Michael Torres.
Ulysses Neri.
Megan Suzanne Kislin.
Janelle Marie Horton.
Melissa G. Martinez.
Ashley Noel Bracken.
Elise Rochelle Maxwell, magna cum laude.
Cameron Jovan Wiggins.
Brianna Olga Nesbitt.
Paul Dye Wynn.
Adrian James Sotalbo.
John Paul Magno Arlgado. Riley Delana Apodaca.
Jomart Sayat Garner. Christian Camelo Gillegaspi. This completes the awarding of the degree Bachelor of Science in Kinesiology. We present the candidates for the degree Bachelor of Science in Mathematics. Kelly Hinrichs.
Anthony Zhu.
Roxanne Marasa, Kellogg Honors McNair Scholar.
Mariana Rolaus Guerrero.
Kyle Shane Conangelo, summa cum laude.
Divana Alatorre. Fanny Salazar, cum laude. Lydia Lay.
Brian Charles Messinas Perez.
Allison Arcee.
Han Pham, summa cum laude.
Stephanie Renee Hernandez.
Elliot Bondi.
Noel Antonio Somoza Jr., summa cum laude.
Chalmer Edward Tomlinson, cum laude.
Brian Arturo Cordero.
Tin Nguyen.
Jose Angel Lopez.
Diana Gonzalez, summa cum laude.
Noel Chu.
Zachary Ray Wingard, magna cum laude.
Sean Patrick Moody.
Raquel Dejbash.
Rachel Cami Wong. Ariel Page Jimenez.
Sean Cohn.
Lily Tovar.
Samantha Homeyer.
Rui Zhao, cum laude.
Nicholas Contatore.
Quinn Nguyen. Monica Yuriana Quintero.
James David Mansfield.
David Contreras.
David Axel Egerdahl.
John Stephen Pena.
Morgan Rupard.
David Moises Palacios.
Adrian Manuel Diaz Cabrera.
Ashley Nicole Silva. Chelsea Ann Schweer.
Courtney Newsom.
Ashley Spradley.
Mohsin Golshiri Esfahani.
Patrick Ayers.
Matthew Raul Pulido, cum laude.
Dylan James Paniagua.
Han Zhang.
Alejandro Ochoa.
Ziran Lee.
Martin Jr. Escobedo.
Justine C., cum laude.
Hector Ivan Mendoza.
Xin Qi.
Raymond Oliver Chow, magna cum laude.
Wenkai Shu.
Miguel Landeros, cum laude.
Shu Xian Tan.
Emily Joyce Campos. Kaylee Tobin.
Mia Fang.
Jessica Joanna Gordardo.
Diana Liseth Sanchez.
Cindy Valeska Cisneros.
Tanawatra Kultai, magna cum laude.
Austin Ryan Corral Jones.
Gloria Araceli Alvarado Preciado.
Christopher Steve Pino, magna cum laude.
Christopher Tai Tang. Michael Chow. Joshua Adam McBath Har. Ani Sinanian. This completes the awarding of the degree Bachelor of Science in Mathematics. We present the candidates for the degree Bachelor of Science in Physics. Jacob William Smith. Martin Sanchez. Davon Webb. Kenny P. Chung. Caleb Michael Papp. Julian Oki. Ian Marsh. Matthew Witt, Kellogg Honors. Julian Andrews. Jose Guadalupe Wences. Jose Guerrero. Yasmina Rusin. Diane Montes. Angela Liu. Jerry Michael Turner. Fuchs Sally on watch, magna cum laude. Odie Byers. Kyle Wheeler. Christopher Taryn Beauvais. Giovanni Delgadillo. Albert Esparza. Eric Cardenas. Nicholas Carrillo. Randall Borlace. Stephen Alatorre. Jessica Taylor Maldonado, Kellogg Honors. Ana Shem Aganan Ramones, cum laude. Carolyn Ramirez. This completes the awarding of the degree Bachelor of Science in Physics.
Will the entire class of 2016 please rise? Congratulations, and please be seated. There is one group of people that we have not yet adequately recognized today. Graduates, would you please rise and let your families and friends know how much you appreciate all they did to make today possible. Please be seated. Graduates, you are now permanent members of the Cal Poly Pomona community. Until now, you could have changed that voluntarily, but now that you have received your degree, you will always be part of this university. We know that you are ready for the next step in your careers, and we are excited by what the future holds for you. Be successful and demonstrate to the world what Broncos can accomplish. This brings us to the end of our program today. We would like to ask the audience to remain seated during the recessional. Once the faculty have left the arena, the commencement will formally conclude. Thank you for being with us.